A client goes quiet and you notice. So, what do you do? If you're anything like most group program leaders that I know and that I work with, you already know the answer to this question. You reach out personally, you voice note them, you send them a DM or an email, and it kind of works until it happens again and then again. And it starts to feel like you're working harder for their results than they are. And most group program leaders operate from a set of beliefs that sound, on the surface, like reasonable care. A good leader always notices when clients disengage and responds immediately. That being available, checking in individually is what distinguishes a premium experience from a low value one. That personal outreach is always the most effective response. And this comes from genuine care, but it also creates a program where you are the system of support, and this becomes completely exhausting, and it's also not scalable or sustainable. And the best group program leaders are not waiting for clients to go quiet. They design an experience around their program where clients don't go quiet in the first place. Now, that's not every client, but it reduces the drop off, the disengagement. And the difference is that it's not about reacting faster. It's actually about better architecture. So systems that are holding the clients before they start to engage, having tracking in place, having triggers in place that tell you this is a moment for celebration. This is a moment to check in. This is a moment where they need extra support, not where you're just reacting randomly weeks after someone has already retreated so far that it's hard to recover from. Because by the time a client's gone quiet, it's actually already too late. The disengagement started 2 or 3 weeks earlier when the progress stopped feeling visible to them, when they lost sight of why they signed up in the first place, where the reward felt less valuable than the effort that they were putting in, and they quietly started wondering whether this was really for them after all. Because disengagement isn't actually at the point of the silence appearing, it happens weeks before. It's a client who stops submitting their weekly check-in forms. It's a sign of dropping confidence scores. It's a shift in language from ownership and proactivity to desperation or blaming. It's moving from actively participating in your community to just lurking. It's going for a couple of weeks without asking a single question when you know before they have been really active and engaged. And these early warning signals are things that we need to pay attention to. Because once you spot them and once you have systems in place that help you to see them, then you can respond in the right way. And the right way isn't always with a DM check in, but it also means that we don't need to chase people when they're already halfway out of the door. Now, I've built a client tool called Pulse, and it tracks these signals automatically. So program leaders can see which clients need attention before they drop out, before they fall off that cliff, before they're already halfway out of the door. So instead of having to respond reactively, you actually have this live read of what's happening in your program. You're keeping your finger on the pulse at any given point. And I do want to be clear that a progress tracker is not going to fix a broken program. If your curriculum is overwhelming, if your onboarding has been poorly thought through, if there's no implementation support built into the experience, tracking signals like whether or not their confidence score has dropped or whether they're not submitting questions is not like the biggest problem that you need to fix. The progress tracking is the final piece of the puzzle that brings everything together. Once your onboarding is sorted, once your curriculum is sorted, once you've understood the messy middle and how to support your clients through that journey and facilitate the implementation, progress visibility and having that monitoring system in place becomes the thing that lets you take your hands off quite so tightly. It's the thing that means that you can go away for a holiday and not be like, oh my gosh, it's all going to fall apart without me, because that system is running in the background instead of you. It's not all in your head, it's actually documented systematically. And that's really going to be supportive for you in terms of operational delivery. And the goal in this is not to step away from delivery. It's not to stop caring. It's just about releasing or relieving the emotional load so that you are not the person that is forcing your clients to the finish line. And a well-designed program is going to hold your clients so that you don't have to. And that is what the strongest group program leaders have figured out, the ones who are getting those rave results, the ones who are getting reviews that sell the program for you. They have designed, intentionally or otherwise, this system in the background. So I'd love to know, when a client goes quiet in your program, what is your first instinct? Like, what is your immediate go-to reaction? Are you tracking the data, or are you just responding based on gut instinct? And I'll see you in the next one.